Hi, my friends. I'm exhausted this morning. So here's what happened. You're not going to believe this one. Last night, I talked to 4 officers. They're coming by, and I thought they're looking for somebody. And I think I did a video on that one. But anyway, so they know that there's this Caucasian guy. He came by when he brushed really close to me within half inches with his fist clenched, right? I mean, he just brushed right next to me when I was in my lawn chair. And as soon as he came so close, I was like, man, that, and he also, so I just said, hey, bud. I said, hi, bud, real nicely. I said, hi, bud. And he turned, he goes, don't you call me even bud, man. He's like, he's going to start swinging then. And I said, and so I just let him keep walking on. It's dark, right? Then, like you said, about 20 minutes later, the police officers came by. I asked them if they were looking for somebody. I was trying to be snitching this guy, because I thought maybe he'd hurt somebody on the bike path, and they said, well, no, they're just looking for me. But four officers scouring the area. You got to realize this is a dead-end street near a fuel gasoline trucker tanks where they fill up there and they distribute gasoline around San Diego. So like that's real unusual. It takes 4 of you, really? Come on, guys. Well, and that's when the officer, I said, I told him who I was and my vehicle is down the road, and I said, I work for God on the street. And he goes, boy, you be safe. Like, and he said, you be really safe. He goes, because I said, you be safe. He goes, like, man, your job is more dangerous than mine, which is true because I don't carry a gun. I work in the streets at night, and whatever, right? Why? So that's some of this. So last night I go to sleep, and this morning it got really cold around. So I was like sleeping, really cold, right? And around about 6. I think it's about 6 o'clock. I couldn't take it anymore, so it's free. So I get up and I get my vehicle, and I had my window up, and it just starting to get some rest because I didn't sleep well at all, just toss and turn, right? Well, anyway, this young kid, about 32, 28 to 30, somewhere in that range, starts banging on my window just hard, and thank goodness it's bulletproof. Bang! He goes, "You stole my crap." He goes, "You thief!" And I said, "What?" So what are you talking about? I didn't steal your crap. And he's trying to break in, right? I mean, just bam, bum, 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 and slamming on it, hitting us window hard. So then he starts picking up I had my lawn chair out there, this blue one, not lawn, the ones that you sit in for folding with metal. He starts slamming at the vehicle and hits the window. And I thought it was gonna break because it's bulletproof. Not bulletproof, it's, it's, well, it's supposed to shatterproof. It is pretty stuff. This Suburban has these windows. I've tried to crack with rock. It doesn't it hardly move them at all. Why? So then he's yelling at me. He said, but I didn't steal your crap. I said, it must have been somebody down the road or something, just trying to get him away. And he keeps on proceeding. He's grabbing my sleeping bag and throwing it, so I couldn't even see. It's like all over my dang hood here, right? So anyway, so then I had enough. I mean, I'm like, I'm tired out of my mind, exhausted, right? So he actually punches. He takes his fist and punches this back window. It's the window's gone, but I have a cooler. So I stepped over the door. I said, I'm done. So he takes off running because he thinks I'm going to come step out of the vehicle, and I was. You got to realize I have shoes, and I'm already injured. I'm tired, and he takes off and he down the road. So I start my vehicle and I go over towards him, right? And so he's hiding behind a telephone pole because I said, but I'm done. I said, you come out and quit hiding from that telephone pole. And he wouldn't come out. He wouldn't. He's afraid. He's like, so in that process though, because I was running down the street for my vehicle and other things like that, and it actually, you're gonna love this one. I got 3 cracked ribs. Not kidding you. I know cracked ribs. I had them last time in Chicago, and I felt a pop when I was in this process, and I don't know exactly when. But when I was running towards him, I actually I heard a pop. And, my ribs, so I cracked my ribs. You gotta be kidding me. They're already tight, so maybe I'm just sleeping on, sometimes the ribs are tight and the muscles are tight that you can actually crack them just by the pull of the muscle tissue itself. I'm not kidding you. Because it only takes like 10 or 20 pounds to break ribs because I took jiu-jitsu. Very easy, by the way. Especially, it's not so I got to go to the doctor today and get this taken care of. But here's my thing is, so there's a lady. That's the thing is, he was throwing crap at me still because I started to drive away because there's a lady that she got between him and the telephone pole, and he saw that as an opportunity to be a jerk again. and she saw the whole thing. She witnessed, and he was like throwing stuff. Well, yeah, see you later, right? Take care. Great breakfast, by the way. All right, take care, right? So, anyway, she's a good lady, right? So, anyway, this lady, this Latino Hispanic lady pulls up, and I said, man, call 911, call the police. I said, this guy's throwing crap at me, and he's throwing stuff at the street. And you know, these are fuel trucks coming down this road. I mean, we're talking thousands of gallons of gasoline that if those trucks have to swerve and they tilt or tip over, you could have an explosion, especially with an engine hot or whatever, right? A spark. Oh my God. So I called 911, and I'm trying to tell her. So her and I are parked, and he's still hiding behind the telephone. And then he comes out front out there, and she says, dude, what calling? So she's like trying to call it. So I said, get out of here, he's coming. So she takes off in her vehicle, and he starts throwing crap at me and grabbing stuff, and threw like, he found like a water ball or something. I can't remember, on this, and throwing it. I couldn't even see through my windshield. And so I drive down trying to look around the window, trying to, to take a look to see how to drive down the street. And so I park about, it's probably about, because it's just a long, narrow street on pavement, about probably 3 blocks down the way, just to get away from the situation. Thought I could get some backup police, because now at this point my ribs hurt. I can't defend myself. I can't even run. And, I'm just getting too old for this to even defend myself, right? So she pulls up, and she actually has 911 on. I said, she guys does. And my cell phone was dead, by the way. Oh, my God. I was trying to talk to 911, but my cell phone was dead. And then they played the stupid game with me. Where are you at? I said, Murphy Canyon Boulevard. And I may have said, like, Mick Murphy or something, like, just because I was tired, exhausted, and running and pain in my ribs. It hurts to talk even right now. Well, anyway, so they're screwing around. I'm not kidding you. It's a long story. This guy is jacking off. I finally told him. I said, what's the emergency? I told him 3 times, and you can hear me clearly. He could. I said, I have been attacked. This guy is throwing crap at vehicles. And I said there is fuel trucks coming by. And I said, he's going to cause an explosion. And the guy is jacking around. I said, are you going to send the officers or not? And he's like, I'm the line. Because they'll say, we're sending dispatch on the way. This guy's screwing around the phone. I said, sir, you got to do your job. I said, no offense. You are not doing your job, your duty. And he's like, I said, do you need more training? I said, what is going on? Because I've actually talked to operators before. This guy stunk. I'm not kidding you. Horrible. So guess what? He hangs up on me, which you never, ever hang up. Bud, you lost your job. I am going to talk to supervisor, everybody. You just lost your job. I'll send him this video about this. So she's on, this lady, she can't speak a lot of good English. She doesn't know where we're at, because I'm not familiar with the, they want the exact address. I gave him everything. I said, it's Walmart, it's Murphy. I'm serious, it's obvious. These dispatchers can figure it out, and they can go, oh, well, they also can pull up maps within seconds. She's screwing around too. I mean, I'm sitting there like 5 minutes. She goes, how long ago? I said, well, now it's been like, God, it's like 10 or 15 minutes. You've been screwing around, I told her. I said, send the dang police now. And she was like, well, we got to get the details. The details, this guy's out of his mind. And the details, why you have an explosion with the fuel tanker, this guy's going to hurt somebody. Well, or, hurt somebody else driving down the darn road, right? Well, anyway, so she does a little bit of job, still just stinks it up. I'm not kidding you. She's like, well, I don't have that. I mean, seriously, come on, lady. I mean, I'm trying to explain to her, I'm like, I said, it's, just head towards that Walmart on Murphy Canyon Boulevard. Look at that. Tell the officers we're 2 blocks down. Even this gal, that she didn't know, it's a new job area for her. She lives in San Diego. She's like, are they crazy? We talked about it later. She does all these. She goes, are they either insane, these operators? Because she doesn't speak good English, and she could understand, very obvious. I mean, God, my 6-year-old could figure out how to tell the police where you're at or what's going on, and I mean, just ridiculous. Oh my God, just stupid, right? Well, and I've already talked to dispatch. I'm trying to get a hold of a supervisor right now with them to tell them that they need a timeout, vacation, or retraining because they did a crappy job. It's horrible bad. Well, anyway, so they said they're going to send the police. So we're sitting there for about 10 minutes, and so police never come. Never come. I checked it back about half an hour later, it never came. Don't you think that if you had some guy reporting somebody throwing things at vehicles, metal chairs and things like that, and putting fuel tankers at danger, that you might want to check it out pretty quickly? And I was even driving down the street here, and I saw this San Diego police officer, just casual uniform. He wasn't going home either, just driving by somewhere else. You gotta be kidding me. So that tells you what? Either beast system's got control of their heads in the police, which they probably do, or these officers don't give a crap, or it could be both. Okay. So I'm very disappointed in the officers. Not this whole the Mission Valley area. This is the same place that had a guy helmless hand in a skull of the same area, like the Headless Horseman, the Ichabod Crane and frickin' the Headless Horseman. You gotta kid me. Just last Thursday. So anyway, it just is bullcrap. So I gotta get moving now. I've got injured ribs, and also I've been ripped off for everything. I swear to God, this system has got me targeted so bad because I even had some money because I'm trying to raise money to help with my vehicle and take care of it. That I invested in stock market trade. So I buy the UVXY fund, right? And, it really trades just perfect. It's on target, never makes a mistake. The contract's usually pretty good. It's called a rolling contract the other day. Guess what? The thing ends up being a turd. I'm not kidding you. I even called them, the Team Ameritrade, tell them, not Team Ameritrade, it's called ProShares, the manager of the fund. I said, where is the manager of that hedge fund? He should be fired. I said, all you got to do is buy some calls and puts on the, with the VIX. I said, calls the VIX. And I said, they're not even tracking the damn VIX. It's supposed to be way better. It's supposed to be like 1.5 times it, right? They can't even track the damn thing. Most ridiculous thing I have ever seen. And they know it. And every time I start to bitch, all of a sudden the prices start equalizing at the end of the day. I mean, it is, every time. So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, this system, like even when I was at a courtroom with my former wife, remember that the settlement, I'm sure I mentioned before, when they took both my houses worth a lot of money, $66,666.67 cents was the cash settlement after paying real estate fees, mailing box fees, document process. I mean, there's a list like 1,000 things on one of the houses, and that is the number. You have got to be kidding me. You can't even make this crap up. I mean, it was to the damn penny. The evil beast system. $66,666.67 cents. Kid you not. Because you got around 6. Actually, around about 5. Oh, you can't make it up. You cannot. And I'm tired of my role. I know it might be church, but I'm telling you what, I get no help from the other side. This shouldn't even begin. My mother said, boy, you got to work from you got to go higher forces, higher up, the higher creator. She says, you're not high enough up, Kirk. She said, you're working with peon gods below. And maybe she's right. I'm saying she's right. They suck. No offense. The Lord, you suck, bud. He sucks. And not to offend him, because, I mean, he's done some great things for me, but he can't even do his job. Either they all quit caring or they don't. I mean, there's something we don't know about this whole game that I think, you know what it is? They're not going to help you, my friends. We got to help each other. I'm not kidding you. When the Lord said you are gods, if you only knew your gods, I think that he meant you got to make the difference. You got to be the gods here on earth. In a sense that, and God's not like we're going to be God, but we got to be creative. We got to use peace and love and all these other things to turn these people and start working together. That's what he meant. And there probably is some truth to manifestation in the sense that not for our own intent and make us rich, but to change this world through our thoughts, our behaviors, and put spells back at him like a mirror. I've talked about this. Because, you know what's funny about it? The Lord never, I told you, he said it was just all threats. I wonder if he even had that power. I bet he didn't. He's probably lying. He said, well, I could call on the angels, but I'm not gonna. I could call on God, but I'm not gonna. The Father. I ain't gonna. You know why? Because he probably did not have the power to do it. It's either that, or maybe it's true he didn't want to because he'd interfere with the divine plan and who he was and making sure that he became his character, his role. I don't know. It's one or the other. I'm kind of thinking maybe he didn't have the power, but then he had stories about he walked on water, but we don't think that's true. We don't know. I told you, the only reality you know, everything could have been a story. The only thing that we know for a fact is, all I know is my history. Like I said, no offense to you, I don't know who you are. Some of you are very lovely people. I'd love to meet you, great friends, and you're awesome. And you got some. You're just, you support me. You're the best. Several of you. I mean, I wouldn't survive without you. But I've had that many people that say the same thing in personal life and turn their backs on me. And not only that, maybe you're just part of the game. And maybe some of you, and how do you know I'm not? How do you know I'm not just playing you? I mean, no, you're not, because I'm suffering like hell, but you never know. I know that I can, to be honest with you, I'm completely real soul and all those other things, because I get no joy of making these videos. I'm documented. I'm seriously, I think about not even bothering with them. But I think it's important that everybody knows the truth from my perspective, right? So, all right, love y'all, and that's the latest. Take care. God bless.